Hey boo, hey. Oh my gosh. So tell me why, have this ever happened to you? You start doing something and it's not that big of a deal, or you might be a little bit nervous, but it's really not that big of a deal. And then you get into it, and somewhere along the process, you get triggered, and you're just like, where did this come from? Like, what is happening? Well, I was recording this video. This is my second time recording it. I started recording this video, right, to talk to you, and I started crying, and I was like, what is happening? It literally took me back to what I said a few days ago, where being a business owner, being a business for yourself, being a freelancer, being a 1099 contract worker, where anything where you have to go out and get work for yourself, it is personal development. And in the process of doing business, it's going to trigger things. And that's what I just experienced. And I was like, okay, I don't want to, I'm not in the point in my life where where I want to put a crying video, a full blown crying video. But that's why my face is so red right now, because I was just crying and I'm like, that's not what we're doing, Raven. Okay, so I actually went to church today, hung out with my friends afterwards, came home and got some work done. I'm like, okay, got some work done for my client. And then I started working on my own stuff for the rejection challenge, because I want to make sure that I'm like, okay, I got to do at least one thing. And I failed, friend. I failed. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask my beautiful friend. She has an incredible program. So, two things I'm going after is more contract work, right? At least some side contract work I want to get into. And then I want to do one. I have four friends, or four people I know. Two, three, one's a good friend. The other two, one I know because we hung out a bit in the States and we were cool, but I would say she's a business associate for sure. And then the other one, I did a little bit of one of her lower level programs. And so I know her, right? So there's different levels of familiarity amongst the three. And then the fourth one, I don't know at all. I don't know from Adam. I just follow her content online. And so they all have programs, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask them, right? Doing something to get me out of my comfort zone, doing something that scares me, asking people I don't, outside my friend, asking people I don't know that well, can I do some type of exchange in exchange for their program? Now, I wouldn't try to do all these programs at once. I'm anticipating people saying no, but I'm still like, oh, it's scary. So I was gonna start with my friend, my beautiful friend Hannah. She has an incredible program called the Virtual Excellence Academy, and she actually just finished enrollment for it this past week. She had all these Facebook ads and LinkedIn articles and Facebook and Instagram posts, and she does a really, really great job at communicating the value, sharing the transformations that happen from her program, sharing lots of client success stories. And so she knows her stuff. She's been in the virtual assistant realm for a long, long time, right? For 10, maybe 15 years. And so I don't know why I didn't think to join her program in the past. But anyway, I was like, oh, okay. I want to, as part of my rejection challenge, I'm like, I want to ask her, can I do some work for her? Right? It's a lot of things that I can do. It just depends on what she needs. For a couple months in exchange for enrollment in her program. Now, you might be like, well, Raven, why can't you just buy the program? Well, the point of the rejection challenge is to get out of my comfort zone, right? So asking in this way would be way more uncomfortable than just buying, but also as valuable as I think the program is, I don't have the cash right now. I might have made a boo-boo with my finances and money's tight right now. So as valuable as it is, I don't have the cash. And that makes me mad because I have spent money probably like a year and a half ago on a program that was not worth it. And I wish I had spent it with my friend Hannah, because at least I know it would have benefited my friend, right? But her program, my friend's program, is good, and I would have gotten benefit back from it. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. And so I messaged Hannah today because she had messaged me a couple days ago, and I responded today, and I was just chit chatting, answering her questions, and and I told her I saw her ads and her copywriting, and it was so great, and which is true. I really felt like it's amazing. She's a great storyteller, phenomenal storyteller, and I wanted to ask about the program. Again, asking, can I work in exchange for it? I'm not even asking for it outright, just for free. And I'm just like, I couldn't do it. I just froze up. I'm like, what is this? Like, why can't you ask? You're not trying. And I realized, stop it. Stop it. No tears. Come on, we can do this. I realized that I did not want her to feel like that I'm trying to take advantage of her. And she's like, well, Raven, why would you try? Why would she feel like that? Because you never done anything in the past to make her feel that way. You've never tried to take advantage of her, period, point blank. So why would she feel like you're trying to take advantage of her if you asked her, could you work in exchange for enrollment in her program? And I realized it's because in this business thing, I have been taken advantage of by someone, by a couple people that I thought were my friends. And like one girl, she owes me $600 right now. I did work for her for 3 months. She owes me $600 for it, and she was just like, I don't have the money, and I don't know when I get it. And I'm just like, but we had an agreement. What do you do with that? What do you do when you have an agreement with someone, and then they just like, well, I can't pay you, and I'm like, but I did the work. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So yeah, but I realized that it was my own experience, my own experience of being taken advantage of in business that I didn't want it to even come across like I was trying to do that to my friend Hannah, because love Hannah, respect her work, would never want her to feel like I'm devaluing her work. And so yeah, I couldn't ask. Stop it. Stop, stop, stop. Pause. Pause, pause, pause. Okay. I had to take a break right there. This is what I mean by this is literally personal development. You literally have to work through your stuff. There's no other way around it, because it will just jump out at you in these inopportune times like it is right now. I'm glad that I'm not in front of a crowd of people or something like that, because it's like how do you tell be like, okay, I need to breathe so I don't cry. But anyway, okay. So yeah, that is the feeling that was coming up. Was like, I don't want her to feel like I'm trying to take advantage of her, even though that's not my intention right at all. And I even feel that way because I've been most like real recently, like this is from December and it's February, the beginning of February right now, where, you know, the person I had an agreement with and that I did work for said, I can't pay, I'm not paying you. I can't pay you. I don't have the money. Um, and I don't know when I'm having the money. So I'm just like, oh, I felt so horrible because I'm like, you knew month one you didn't have the money. You knew month two you didn't have the money. You definitely knew month 2.5 you didn't have the money. So why you have me finish this work that you weren't gonna pay me for? But again, it's my own boundaries too. And so I definitely know that I played a role in this. I should have got payment up front or whatever. But I digress. I say all that to say I failed at getting the rejection. I couldn't even get to the getting rejected. I couldn't even get to getting the no because I couldn't ask because of my own triggers. So where do we go from here, right? Um, because if this has to be an everyday occurrence, I'm not gonna make it very far in this challenge. But no, excuse me. Um, I think I will definitely do some reflection, like journaling out my feelings about the other business transaction that did not go well, right? Because that's where this is coming from. And I think as far as Hannah's program goes, I'll probably just wait and save up for it and enroll later when I can pay for it. That way I can keep it clean. She can get paid what her program is worth. And it's not, part of me is like, that's avoiding the trigger. But I'm gonna process it in a different way. I just won't, you know, yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm thinking as I'm talking, and so this might not make any sense at all. But that's just what I dealt with today. And so I came on here to share it with you. Because why not? We're going through a challenge, and this is part of the challenge, right? Things come up that are unexpected, and it's like, okay, how do I deal with this? You tell me, You tell me where, when you've had situations where you got triggered, things came up that you weren't expecting at all, you know, you were trying something new or trying something you always done, and you were triggered by something. How did you deal with it? Like, was it go to therapy? Was it journal it out? Was it dance it out? Was it something else I'm not even thinking about? Was it mushroom? I don't know. I think the thing that comes to mind is to journal it out and try to get some forgiveness around that business deal, that business transaction that didn't go through. Um, because I don't want to be mad at that person, and I don't want to have this trigger come up again. It's one thing to be like, I'm nervous, I'm not sure what people are gonna say when we're going after these things in the thousand no's challenge. That's, it's one thing to feel that way. It's another thing to feel triggered to the point where I'm crying and all red in the face. That's a whole nother thing. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to stop this challenge. That's not the goal. The goal is to finish it. No matter, I fortunately I don't have a set number like, oh, you have to get 400 no's. I don't have a set number, but I would at least, in my mind, I at least want one no a day, right? If there's 28 days, then I should have 28 no's. That's the bare minimum, right? But if I can't even get past the first few no's, that's gonna be a hard mountain to climb. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna journal this out and work through it that way. But I'm open. If you share with me how you have gotten through something that triggers you, especially if you're a business owner, please let me know, right? Because it's just a whole new level when you have to, when you deal with people and they don't keep their word. Again, this is another girl. This is not Hannah. This is another girl that I we were friends, I thought, and business transaction went bad. So how do you deal with things like that, right? That's hard to navigate. I've dealt with friends like borrowing money and not pay me back. That's one thing, but it's like, how do you deal with that on a business setting? I don't know, especially when you had an agreement in place, like a written signed agreement. Like, you can have a written signed agreement all you want, and if somebody says I'm not paying you, what can you do? I don't know what to do. The only thing I know to do from that is, from now on, is like, okay, you got to give me half up front and then the other half at completion, or you got to give me all up front. If it's under a certain threshold, like if it's lower than 1,000, then you got to give me the whole thing up front. Or if it's bigger, like 5,000, then it can be broken into incremental payments. But outside of that, and journaling my feelings about it, because I thought this, because this person, I considered her a friend, like journaling out my feelings about that. I'm like, how else do I handle it? I don't know how else to handle it. Oh, maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough. But yeah, that's it today. We'll call this one big feelings in business, big business feelings. I don't know. But okay, tell me how you handle things like this. Let me know. All right, talk to you later, boo. Ciao.